Welcome everyone, another episode of Dummiez on the Hardwood. Welcome back, Isaac. Shit, bro.
Yeah, I came back and I was proven right, but we'll get into that later.
I don't know about all that, but anyway.
Proven right, numbers don't lie.
Anyway, we're here to discuss about this week's playoffs. We got some big headlines that we want to talk about. Obviously, we're going to discuss about Tatum's injury. With the Game 1 spill they took from KCP. And we're also going to talk about the Thunder and how Isaac here is not really concerned. He's not really too thrilled about the Thunder. He's not sold on them. It is what it is. We got to talk about that and many more topics that we want to talk about in the playoffs. But first things first, we got to get into it. Make sure you subscribe and follow us on YouTube and all other platforms. Dummiez on the Hardwood. We are on Instagram. Make sure you show us the love. Now, without further ado, let's go and get started, fellas. Isaac, why are you not sold on the Oklahoma City Thunder?
I mean, who have they really beaten? Crickets? Anyone? Anyone?
They handle business. That's all I'm going to say is they handle business.
They beat the Chicago Cubs. Memphis Grizzlies. Memphis
Throwing
Grizzlies.
shade out there to all those Cubs fans. Bro, dude, he a little salty, Isaac.
Who else? They beat New Orleans, who were a walking skeleton crew last year.
But dude, we're forgetting that they're taking care of business. They're handling business. You gotta beat these teams, bro.
So a big old dog goes down to face a chihuahua. That's handling business.
Yeah, it's handling business.
But if you have a dog of equal size,
you still gotta handle your business, bro. You gotta handle your business, bro. Yeah. Come on, Isaac. Where you at, bro? Where you at, Big Escopade? Come on, bro.
I'm not sold.
Come on, man.
They're still missing a scorer and a playmaker. There are times where the offense struggles. Yes, they have defense, but their offense struggles.
Have we not seen what J-Dub has been... I'm sorry. Have we not seen what J-Dub has been doing, bro? Have you not seen his production?
Cool. And I want to see him face an interior defender who will actually guard him and keep the perimeters safe.
Man. If I'm listening, I have to agree with Isaac to some degree. I think that the OKC Thunder are definitely missing another point guard, another ball handler who can facilitate the offense. And also, too, Jalen Williams, J-Dub, he's their secondary scorer, but how can you rely on him come playoff time? Can you rely on him to score? He's showing up. Can you rely on him to show up every single game? He's showing up where he needs to show up. He played big against Memphis. He dropped 20 points in the last 2 games.
It's the Memphis Grizzlies.
Okay, but
Grizzlies.
Okay,
sorry.
but hold up, bro. Isn't it when you in this position as the top team out west or whatever conference you're at, whatever sport you gotta take care of business. You gotta take care of business. And I agree. But the bottom line is just that there's no bottom line. The OKC Thunder. Go ahead, Isaac.
How many times have they won the conference? How many times have they represented? Okay, then. How many times is Boston? How many times is Boston?
Fuck if I know.
All right, thank you.
Well, all I'm saying is when we got to talk about their days with Durant, Harden, Westbrook. When they went to the title, when they went to the finals.
I'm not talking about that. I'm talking about the current core.
But I think this current core can do it. Obviously, I agree with you guys to a degree.
If Shea can score and shoot, he can score, but he can't shoot.
And let's be honest, Shea this series had a rough series.
Yeah, he's been inconsistent.
He's been a little bit inconsistent, but he still showed up when the Thunder needed him. J-Dub, he's showing up. Chet Holmgren had some games where I think it was game 3 where he popped off in the second half and scored 23 points. But so the bottom line is just the Thunder have the talent. What concerns me is their lack of point guard play outside of SGA and a secondary consistent shot creator. But I would, my issue with Chet Holmgren, being, and I think he's still the X factor in the series. My issue with him is that game 3, game 2, whatever, or game 3. Literally 1 point scored in the first quarter.
And then he
first
scored
half,
23 in the next half.
But he can't be doing that. He's got to have some sort of consistency. At least with J-Dub, he's a little more consistent. And that's my concern with the OKC Thunder. I'm not worried. I think they're going to do fine, But do you have them coming out west? Who they play next round? 2-7.
So they play the winner.
1-8.
They play the winner of the Clippers and Nuggets.
That's an interesting series.
No,
That would
if
be
they got the Clippers,
that's a series.
If they got the Clippers, no. Nuggets, they could probably get out with the Nuggets, but with the Clippers, no. I think you give me a fully healthy Kawhi Leonard, and you get James Harden actually showing up and playing because he's been balling out. Let's give credit, he's been balling out. Isaac, I don't want to hear it.
Time out. I am the one who picked the Clippers. Now you're switching. I remember last week's episode. You said you were picking the Nuggets, didn't you?
And I said what I said.
Didn't he?
You said that.
I said what I said.
Okay.
But
okay.
the Nuggets,
I'm just acknowledging
but the Nuggets don't give
I'm
me
just
enough.
saying I originally picked the Clippers.
All right, and I agree, but I'm just saying now that I've watched the games, this is how the series is unfolding. Denver's looking like a shell of themselves. MPJ's not showing up when he needs to show up.
I'm still rolling with the Nuggets. I think they'll pull it off in 7.
I mean, look, like I said, I had faith in the Nuggets. Just after watching them play, they've just been spotty at times. So I gotta switch sides. I gotta go for the other team. I think the Clippers can do it. Fully healthy Kawhi Leonard, that's something.
Yeah, I mean, if we go back to the Thunder and Grizzlies series, I thought that it was an unfortunate event for the Grizzlies losing Ja Morant. That play that you showed us, Isaac, prior to before we started this episode. We could debate all night long about it, but the bottom line is Ja Morant got hurt, and that you could say that hampered the Grizzlies whatever chance they had at beating the Thunder that game, because that game they had close to a 29-point lead.
It was a 29-point lead,
and then they blew it in the second half. So if they had Ja Morant, probably could have made a difference. Would they have won the series? No, they wouldn't.
No, they probably get it to be a gentleman's sweep. Just keep it real. But look, anyway, tying back to what we were talking about the Thunder. Are they coming out west? That's debatable. If they play the Clippers, no. If they play the Nuggets,
I'm gonna be real with you.
Yeah,
I'm gonna be real with you. The Thunder own the Clippers. If you haven't watched them in the prior seasons, the Thunder own the Clippers.
Yeah, I've seen it.
They own them.
I think they blew them out last time.
Great.
But see,
regular season.
But see, to his point, it doesn't matter about the season. Like, you would get the best seeding, but it don't matter, because if you don't show up in the playoffs, then what's the point? You need to be. Obviously, you want the best seeding. That's the whole purpose of it. But you got to show up. I still think the Thunder are going to show up, right? My issue with them is just their experience. Just their experience kind of concerns me a little bit. As they get deeper and deeper, if they play teams like the Wolves, say in the conference finals, or whoever they play, because the Lakers at this point don't look like they're going to come out of that series. But you never know.
Say that one more time.
Looks like the Lakers are going to come out of that series, but
I remember you.
I said what I said.
Picking them over the Timberwolves.
I said what I said. Come on, bro.
Lakers in 7.
Hey, well, you never know. We've seen some stranger things, but all I'm saying is, like, I think the Thunder can make some noise, but again, if they play a team with more experience, I think they're gonna flounder a little bit.
I mean, I think the Thunder will be eliminated in the second round. That's my ceiling for them.
Oh, really? Damn, bro, that's bold. That's bold.
I'm just saying, man. Like, they haven't taken out anyone. I want to see them take out Kawhi Leonard. If they face the Clippers, take out Joker.
And that reminds me, because to your point, bro, the meeting that they had against the Clippers where they blew them out, Kawhi Leonard didn't play.
Oh, that's a big X factor.
Oh yeah. See, so now you got someone like Kawhi Leonard guarding SGA.
We shall see.
Clamp. Anyway, diverting, we're gonna move out east a little bit. We want to talk about a little bit of the injury with Jayson Tatum. Kind of want to touch up on that, guys. Is that something that we should be concerned about?
I don't think the injury I'm concerned about. I'm not so much concerned with Jayson Tatum's injury. What I am concerned is Drew Holiday. Yeah. Because I think Drew Holiday is going to be that X factor. He's already out with a hamstring injury, and those things, those are going to be some nagging injuries for him.
Nothing shows up on the box score, but he does the little things.
Right, and then Jayson Tatum, I mean, you still have Jaylen Brown.
But he's battling knee injuries as well.
And he's battling knee injuries as well.
So
the Celtics have a lot of players on their teams with lots of nagging injuries.
Yeah,
they're going to catch up.
It's an 82 game
And,
season.
and what did I say in the beginning of the season? The injuries to the Celtics are going to catch up to them. Though when they went out and played Team USA, Drew Holiday, Jayson Tatum. What did I say? It's going to have an impact on them, and you could see it now.
I mean,
yeah,
I'm not worried. Who? What? They're gonna face what? The Knicks?
Yeah,
Maybe the Knicks or the Pistons.
I've been saying that. Like, look, if they play the Knicks, I'm not worried.
By the way, the Pistons got robbed.
Yeah,
They should have won that game.
That was
but
highway robbery.
Regardless, like the Knicks aren't going anywhere, unfortunately.
All I'm saying is this, fellas. If the Knicks advance to the second round where they play Boston, which is probably going to happen, like
I'll still take the Celtics.
I would take the Celtics.
It's obvious they're deep,
right? But we're going to watch that high pick and roll action where Cat gets exposed by Tatum so many times. I'm just saying, Tatum going to put nice.
And what I'm saying is, if Drew Holiday doesn't come back, Boston really does not look like
you
a threat.
kind of lose that ball movement.
Yeah. I mean, I can see that, but I'm not really worried.
And then you would probably exert more players on the bench, which would tire them out for like close. Well, if there's any close games at all. I'm just saying, it's minimal concern, like 10% concern.
Yeah, I'm just saying, but it's why they have a decent bench. Obviously, they haven't been showing up the last couple games, but it is what it is.
It's the magic.
It's just you have to put your foot down and get rid of those teams, not let them be in games and force your players.
As I said earlier, take care of business, right, Isaac?
Yes, sir.
Right, Isaac. So the Thunder took care of business with the Grizzlies, right?
Yeah,
they did. Come on, bro.
I guess.
Come on.
I mean,
bro.
did anyone really have the Grizzlies the Cubs winning against the Thunder?
I mean, I agree, Benny. The bottom line is you got to take care of teams you got to beat, but the Thunder just have some glaring concerns. That's it.
I mean, I can understand. Like I said, I understand your concerns, with them going forward, but I don't think that will affect them, But we'll see. I could be wrong. But I'll make this bold statement, as much as I have to, eat my words with what I said earlier about the Nuggets. I'm gonna shock some people. Clippers are coming out the West, and you heard it from right here. Clippers are coming out the West. You heard me. Healthy Kawhi Leonard, it's over. It's over. Clippers coming out the West.
No.
Yep.
No.
Give me another team.
How about we transition into the other team that I think will win the West? The Timberwolves.
Get out of here.
You think the Timberwolves might win the West?
Win the West. Gentlemen, repeat me your picks for this series again.
I said Lakers in 6.
I think I said.
But I'm gonna add another one. Lakers in 7.
I said Lakers in 6 too. Yeah, I said Lakers in 6.
It is currently 3-1.
3-1.
Yeah,
in favor of the Wolves.
Shifting back to LA.
So
what
now it could
has
be Lakers
been
in
the
7.
constant problem throughout these games that I said in the beginning?
Bench.
They're too small.
Yeah, they're
too small.
way too
Why
small.
is Jackson Hayes fouling out with 2 fouls and they never put him back in?
I mean, I don't know, man. Look, all I'm saying too is like, I want to give you guys a little flashback. We got to take it back almost 3 years ago. Celtics, Sixers. Celtics were down 3-1. We all remember that. Celtics were down 3-1. Yeah, 3-1 to the 76ers. And me personally, I thought it was over. Then we won game 4. Was it game 4, game 5? We won game 5. Then we won game 6. And then we won game 7. So that's where I think the Lakers are going to go. I think the Lakers are going to win the next 3 games.
That's why I still said Lakers in 7. I'm not worried.
I think the Lakers could win game 7. However, I would not be shocked.
But I agree that Isaac, to your point, Isaac, is their size is depleting.
Yeah, I agree.
Their smallest player on the court at some point is Naz Reid, and he's 6'10".
Yeah.
6'10", and he can stretch the floor.
Yeah, and that's the bottom line. It comes down to size. And what also concerns me too is that Laker bench. When you only have 6 points off the bench,
you're not winning
and you got players who are playing like 13, 14 minutes off the bench,
not winning
and
games.
they score 0 points.
You're not winning games.
Translation, they're just doing cardio. That's what's going to happen.
Versus the Timberwolves, who have 3 quality starters off the bench in Naz Reid, Dante DiVincenzo, and Nickeil Alexander-Walker.
And this series was going to come down to the battle of the bench. Whose bench is going to show up? And right now, it's the Wolves bench that's showing up.
Yeah, Wolves are showing up.
It's the bottom line, But I'm not concerned. I'm still taking the Lakers in 7.
I mean, yeah,
still Luka.
Like I said,
you got Luka, LeBron. I'm not worried.
I mean, look, like I said, I could see Lakers in 7, but also too, I would not be shocked if the Wolves ended in 6.
But the bottom, and you know what, too, with the Lakers is that they need Luka, Austin Reeves, and LeBron to have 30, 40-point games.
And that's where I transition into my point. Austin Reeves has really been struggling with the shot.
Series, yeah,
unfortunately. And the losses, he's been shooting under 40% from the fields. Today he hit 43% from the field, but they still lost. In wins, he's shooting about 37. No, in wins he's shooting 50% from the field. But he's just attacking the basket.
It's no surprise when he shoots better. They win.
After that, who is the third scorer besides Luka and LeBron? And LeBron, they're just tiring him out. He's looking like his age, unfortunately.
Yeah, his age is catching up. Like I was saying, like he made that careless. Did you see that play where he made that careless inbound pass? He looked like he was gassed. He just literally gave him the ball.
He was just gassed.
And it's sad, man. But like I said,
Luka's doing his thing. But Bobby, as you speak out, like 6 points off the bench, that's unacceptable.
It's not really good.
But see, also too, it kind of goes back to, and I harped on it last year. When Luka was playing the Celtics in the finals last year. You can start to see his character flaws start to come out a little bit. He's a talented player, but he complains too much for their liking. Like there was a play where he literally was complaining for a foul, right? He comes to back down transition to play defense. What happens? I think Nasri buries a 3. He gets lost and mixed up with the defenders. Too worried about a call. I think they tied the game at that point. And it was like, dude, just get back on defense. That's the problem. And as I said earlier, I think Luka's a hell of a player. He's one of the greatest players to play the game, but he just needs to work on his leadership because he needs to take it up to the next level. He's got it,
It's unfortunate because from a young age he played with older adults in Real Madrid, I believe. I might be wrong about that, but a lot of that behavior is from them because if they didn't get a call, they would argue with the refs and everything a lot. So unfortunately, probably Luka picked up on those.
It's a really bad habit. It's just, it's not a great
again
habit.
Like the Lakers weren't expected to be here. This is probably like good chemistry, but you guys are going to need to revamp the team next year.
I 100% agree. I think the Lakers right now they need another bench piece.
And a big,
and also somebody who can another 3-and-D player.
Well,
out there.
My issue too is like when they play Jordan Goodwin. Look again. I understand when it comes to the playoffs, you gotta shrink your roster. I totally get it. But that dude, when he played, he was bringing all sorts of energy for them. Like, where is that? You know what I mean? Because when I watch the Lakers play, they look dull. They look lifeless. You know what I mean? They have these big leads and they squander them. It happens in the league in general, but it's like, against the Wolves, like, you should be handling business. That's just my personal opinion.
Anthony Edwards is going at that peak.
He is. And let's transition over to the Wolves because, with what Anthony Edwards is doing, he's just absolutely just dominating the Lakers in the paint.
He drove to the basket and got 17 free throws this game. 17 free throws.
And the last game, he dunked on Jackson Hayes.
Oof. Everyone remembers that.
Yeah, he's right now. He's doing what he needs to do. The Wolves are just taking care of business. Nas Reed out there doing his thing.
Gobert. He's
Gobert
poking out those rebounds.
Yeah, and what are they doing? They're exposing the size for the Lakers.
Even Jaden McDaniels, heck.
Yeah, he's actually been playing really good. This series, man. He's been playing good. And whoever they play, if the Wolves advance the next round, it's gonna be
gotta give
series.
a big shout out to Julius Randle.
And you know what? Julius Randle made me eat my words because I knew we've all said this before. We've seen his history in the past in the playoffs where he would just come out and throw up and then show up. But he's been showing up against the Wolves, so I give him my flowers.
And in the NBA, there's times where everything just starts clicking. In the beginning of the season, there was no chemistry. There was no clicking. There was clock paint. But Gobert is solely in the paint.
But he averaged 3 points coming into the series? Like he was having a shitty series. He's not been playing that good because he's getting exposed.
What he's been doing, I've noticed. You put Hachimura on him, he just backs him down.
Yeah,
they're just being physical. They're physically tiring out the Lakers.
I think again, like what it comes down to is like you said it. You just nailed it around the point. Is physicality. If you can be physical with the team, if you can knock them out their game, because we all may know the quickest way to get into the Lakers' head is to mess with Luka's head. You mess with Luka's head, Luka's in his own head, takes him out of the game.
I mean, let's be honest. They don't have young players either. Lakers have one of the oldest rosters. Honestly, if you look at it, kind of. Yeah. Unfortunately, you have LeBron, who's 40. Luka is still in his prime, but you got a bunch of older role players: Dorian Finney-Smith, Gabe Vincent.
Gabe Vincent's he's 20, he's 28, 29.
I think he's 30.
No, he's not.
I don't know. I
don't know, but you guys need more youthful players, like Jordan Goodwin. You guys need to play him more.
Yeah. And the Dalton Connect. And the bottom line is the Wolves.
He's a defensive liability.
The Wolves are going out there. Yeah, Dalton Connect would get destroyed out there on defense.
Oh yeah,
so
true.
We're not But the bottom line is just that the Wolves are going out there, they're taking care of business, and you could see it too. The other point I want to make is you could see how cohesive that Wolves team looks.
They finally found their groove.
They figured it out.
I mean,
they figured that out.
I think they won the last 16 of their 18 games.
16 of the last 18 games. So that team, I was like, oh, Lakers can beat the Wolves, but now I'm like, whoa, I can see the Wolves. That roster to me is pretty fucking loaded.
They're deep.
Yep. They're a team deep. They're a force to be reckoned with.
Another thing is Vando. He's your guy's best perimeter defender, but you are getting nothing from him on offense.
Lack of shooting,
unfortunately.
That's the point. It's just the Lakers right now need to figure out who is going to be that scoring punch off the bench, because Gabe Vincent's got to show up. Basically, the Lakers need Austin Reeves, LeBron, and Luka to score 30 points in every game in order for them to win. And Rui's got to score at least 15 to 20 to make it competitive, to help them out. That's what it looks like right now.
12 minimum. You guys got to rebound.
Rebounding. Lakers have a lot of things to work on, but in the offseason, I think they'll make that happen.
I wouldn't be surprised if LeBron takes a pay cut in order to build the roster better around him and Luka.
Yeah. Hey, but why are we talking about the Lakers season's over? We still got one more game with them.
We're not talking about the Lakers season over.
Here's the thing.
I'm just saying.
Even if they get past this round, eventually that's going to bite them in some series.
You can see it right now. It's biting the Lakers. As painful as it is, I feel like the Lakers can win in 7. I really do. But if they were to get to the second round, where they would have to play the Rockets or the Warriors,
yep.
They got some size. The Lakers, they really don't have any size.
It's nothing against the team. You just need more pieces.
They need more pieces. That's the bottom fucking line.
Yeah, in the playoffs, there's zero margin of error. There's zero margin.
And that's what I said. The Lakers are going to need AR, LeBron, and Luka to have superhuman games in order for them to win. That's just the bottom line. And it's you can only do that to a certain point.
You might need to trade Austin Reeves.
No, that's not happening, dude. That's not happening.
I mean, he's a defensive liability at times too, unfortunately.
Dude, trade Dalton Connect, bro. Don't say trade Reeves. No.
I think you got to trade Dalton Connect. Dalton Connect or Rui.
Here's the thing. Yeah. Dalton Connect's trade value is pretty much zero at this point.
Yeah, but I
wouldn't say that.
I don't know if it's zero. I wouldn't
say that.
I mean, he's not being played for a reason. And you're not going to trade Luka. You just got him. Obviously, you're not going to trade LeBron. No one wants a bunch of role players unless you're Washington.
I mean, if you're Rui Hachimura, if you fall in love with Rui Hachimura, you could trade Rui.
If you guys could get a Justin Champagnie, that'd be a great help. He's a good 3-and-D forward.
Yeah, was he?
He's in Washington. So call up Washington. Give him Dalton Connect for Justin Champagnie.
I think San Antonio.
Really underrated player.
San Antonio
shoots about 40% from 3.
Those Champagnie brothers are hoopers, though.
Yeah, man.
It'll be interesting. Maybe go after Miles Turner, but I can see LeBron taking a pay cut in order to sign a few players.
Yeah, I can see that happening. Yeah.
But eventually it would haunt the Lakers, unfortunately, because next round you would have to face Şengün or Draymond, and then the following round you'll have to face Hardenstein or Holmgren, and then even if you make it to the finals, you'll have to face Porzingis.
Or possibly Mobley.
Anything's possible, but
anything's possible.
But it is, Lakers are just gonna need to be. They're gonna have to just have all hands on deck at this point. That's what it comes down to, and superhuman games.
Yeah. So fellas, just to kind of tie what we were talking about. Obviously, we already know Thunder, Grizzlies. Isaac's not sold on the Thunder. I'm still sold on the Thunder. However, I don't think they're coming out the West.
I'm still sold on the Thunder too.
No, I know you're sold. I know Isaac's not sold.
Right.
So how we feel about the and we got one more series to talk about. We don't want to talk about Pacers Bucks. Dame Lillard just, for those who just missed it,
unfortunately, possibly tore his Achilles.
Possibly torn his Achilles. Sucks for the Bucks.
It's a non-contact injury, which is never ever good. You never ever want to see that to a player, unfortunately.
And this could just have the ripple effect. This could be like the nail in the coffin for Giannis's future with Milwaukee.
I mean, we never know, but all I'm saying too is like, look, at this point, we just gotta focus on the present right now. The season's over for the Bucks. I don't want to write them off too soon because they still got a couple more games to play. If they lose tonight and they go back to Indiana, I'll call it the series right there. I'll give it to Indiana. They can move on. Anyway, I want to talk about the Rockets and Warriors real quick with you guys. I really want to talk about that series. How do we feel about that? That's another interesting series outside the Nuggets and Clippers.
The only thing is, it's just the Rockets don't have experience.
Yeah, that's literally it.
They haven't been able to take the full opportunity that Butler's not there. Curry went off for 35 points?
It's Steph Curry.
35.
That's Steph Curry. Yeah, it's expected.
But supposedly the Rockets figured it out, and they have a superstar, according to Bennie over here.
I'm still sold.
I don't see no superstar. I see Jalen Green tossing up bricks everywhere.
I'm still sold on Şengün, bro.
Yeah, Şengün, I'm still sold on. It's just, for me, it's gonna have to come down to Jalen Green for the Houston Rockets.
But he takes horrible shots.
He takes horrible shots.
We can agree.
But the dude is, when he's on. He's legit. This dude is legit.
We talked about this last night, Bobby. If Jalen Green just stayed consistent, he's a superstar.
If he took better shots, he's a superstar
and stayed consistent because he
oozes potential. But it goes back to another point that Isaac mentioned is the inexperience that the Rockets have.
But how long do you need for Jalen Green to get out of his own head and take horrible shots rather than the flow of offense?
I mean, well, at this point,
if I'm Houston, I'm trading him. He's trading him this summer for maybe Jaden Ivey.
I mean, well, I don't know. I don't know if I would do that.
I mean, if you're the Houston Rockets, I mean, personally, if I'm Houston, I'm not trading any of that core because your core is lethal. You have one of the best young cores in the NBA. But if you were to do it, I'd go out and probably say, hey, you know what? What's going on there in Phoenix?
Oh Lord, for what?
What's going on out there? Can we get KD?
Why would you trade for KD?
It's the Houston Rockets.
No, in Houston, man. I mean, look,
you never know
for Devin Booker.
You never know.
Devin Booker, a lifer, man. He is son for life.
Okay, here's the thing. The other day, he's like, "I'm done being part of a rebuild. I'm not going to be part of another rebuild."
That's what Booker said.
Yeah, I mean, if you're Phoenix, you don't have much time, and think about it. What's Durant going to fetch? He's a 1-year rental. You're going to have to trade multiple players, and you're going to want like 5 first-round picks. I don't think a team's stupid enough to do that. Unless you're Washington.
Wishful thinking.
Yeah, I mean, I'm just
wishful thinking out there for Houston.
I mean, I would maybe Jabari Smith Jr., a few picks, and Jalen Green.
Cam Whitmore.
No, don't trade Cam Whitmore. No, it's a shame he's not even playing in this series.
No, that's what I'm saying. It's a shame that he's not playing.
Anyway, before we delve further,
we got to talk about the Warriors, though.
Yeah, but picks, like who you gonna take? Rockets, Warriors. I'm still rolling with the Rockets.
Oh my god!
I got Rockets in 7.
I'm still taking the Warriors. I'm taking the Warriors.
Unless this invisible superstar decides to show up in Houston, I'm taking Steph Curry.
I'm taking the Warriors in about six games.
Okay, tell us how we're crazy,
bro. I'm just saying. Look, in Houston I trust. In Ime I trust.
That's cool. Give me more. Give me reason. Give me players. Give me stats.
Well, obviously, Fred VanVleet's not having a great series. I'll acknowledge that. Wow.
Fred VanVleet's your number one option? Oh, I'm terrified. Ooh.
Şengün is still showing up.
Oh, I'm terrified
but shout out to their role players. Shout out to their players who are stepping up. Amen Thompson is stepping up. Dylan Brooks is stepping up.
Waiting for the superstar answer.
Şengün.
I just got one word for you. Steph Curry.
That's it.
That's 2.
I
got 2 words for you. Steph Curry. I'm still taking with the Warriors. I think
someone had a Charles Barkley moment.
I think their experience will carry them over. Also too, I think the Warriors have more. I wouldn't say they have more depth, but they have more of more veterans on that team who knows what it takes. You could see in game 3 when they were when they were out there in Oakland or San Francisco, you could clearly see the inexperience of the Houston Rockets playing out.
Yep.
You go out there in the game and you miss 10 free throws. You miss 10 free throws. You make some you take some very questionable shots. You're not within the flow of the offense. So you could really see that the Rockets' inexperience was bleeding over in that series and in that game in particular.
I think it's just more scoring too. Like they don't have like a true point guard like to facilitate
other than Van Vliet.
Yeah, and once he's off the floor, who's
really their point guard?
And they need that veteran presence, I feel.
Dylan Brooks is a veteran.
No, Lord. You're
Dylan
gonna talk about the guy who called LeBron old and then got literally smacked the next game.
Draymond and Jalen Green though had their little thing going on after that game.
Their little spat.
Draymond's doing his job, man. Draymond.
So I'm excited to see how that series, the next game.
It seems like all the series that we got going on, fellas, out west, is way better. Obviously, out east, like I said, we're just gonna touch on it real quick. Knicks and Pistons, obviously that's a shitty call that happened, today with Tim Hardaway Jr. Sucks. Should have been series.
Then again, if you look at it from the NBA's perspective, are you really going to call a foul on Tim Hardaway Jr. to decide the game or Cade Cunningham?
That is
Why
true.
Why is Tim Hardaway Jr. taking the three?
Hey, but Cade Cunningham is struggling the series, bro. He's barely shooting like what 30% from three.
I want to shift out west back again because we're forgetting that other series, the Nuggets and Clippers.
We talked about that.
No, we didn't.
Like briefly.
No, we didn't.
Kawhi
talk
seems
about
like
it.
he's back.
As I said earlier, Clippers are winning the West.
Changed his mind.
Yeah, but this series is giving me the vibes of a 7-game series.
It's a 7-gamer, without a doubt.
It's a 7-game series.
As long as everyone stays healthy.
It's clearly the best series right now out west. Clearly. And that putback dunk that Aaron Gordon
at the
last second.
That's a heartbreaker.
That is insane.
That was fucking insane.
That was a heartbreaker. I really feel bad for the Clippers, man. They literally had that game in the bag.
I mean, I think it'll just be fuel for them to win Game 4. No, Game 5.
Yeah. If the Clippers don't win this next game, which I doubt because I think they'll win, then I can see the Nuggets pulling out. But right now, I know I've shifted thoughts and shifted choices. I'm going to roll with the Clippers.
I'm still taking the Nuggets.
Clippers in 7. Clippers in 7.
Yeah, it's very interesting. I mean, if we go back out east too, the Heat and Cavs.
That's unappealing. We already know what's going to happen. I'm not excited to talk about that. Are you excited to talk about it?
Not really. I'm waiting till the conference finals. Everyone's like, the Knicks.
Right?
Yeah.
And then, by the way, Knicks, give Jalen Brunson a damn break. Tom Thibodeau, you're all complaining about, free throw discrepancy. You're literally playing all your players for pretty much the whole damn quarter. Jalen Brunson is like one drive away from tearing his Achilles or tearing his ACL because,
God forbid,
at this point,
he gets hurt.
Unfortunately, he's literally the offense because if he goes down, who are you going to rely on? Cat?
I'm sorry, you're not.
But Cat showed up today. I will say that.
I'm gonna be honest with you. Are you gonna tell me?
No.
Are you gonna tell me Cat's gonna be the number one?
I agree. I don't trust him. Look, if God forbid Jalen Brunson goes down later on if they move on, if you play the Celtics, that's not gonna work because then they won't have any options. And like I said, Cat as the number one option. We all knew how that went in Minnesota. We all know how that went in Minnesota. It didn't turn out too good. So. Yeah, it's unfortunate.
As Lil Yachty said, it gets cold in Minnesota.
It's cold in Minnesota. Shit, man. I feel bad for, like I said, with the Cavs and Heat, obviously we know that series is over. Cavs are going to take that series. Maybe the Heat still won. I don't know. I don't really care about that series as much.
They're done.
Yeah.
Heat are done.
Celtics Magic, obviously Celtics with the big win tonight. Tatum's wrist injury,
just keep an eye on it because it just depends.
Yeah, I'm not really too worried about it. Again, we'll just,
the question is going to be just Drew Holiday.
Yeah,
that's it.
And
that's
obviously,
the big question.
We all know Celtics are going to win in 5. We know that. Celtics going to win in 5.
They should win in 5.
They should win in 5. 6, that's a stretch. Was there the Bucks and Pacers? That's unfortunate, but the Pacers to get that series.
Yeah, I'm taking the Pacers.
Is there another series I'm missing out east?
The The Pistons and the Knicks.
Pistons and the Knicks. Yeah, we already talked about that. Pistons and Knicks.
That's about it, though.
Yeah, see, the East is unappealing.
The East is so unappealing. Let's do the West. You know, I think the West is the best conference so far, and I think that's where the champion will be crowned. But who comes out west?
Fellas, but we can say this, man. This playoffs is really good, man. We're seeing a lot. I don't know if you guys noticed this, but we're seeing a lot of low-scoring games. Mine's that blowout, you know, with the Cavs and Heat. But we're seeing a lot of low-scoring games in the hundreds and 90s, right? You know, like Cavs, like Celtics, Magic, Friday, 95-93, right? We're seeing some really good games, you know, getting down to the wire.
Yeah. By the way, Patrick Dumont, shut up. Let the trade die. We talked about it. You're an idiot. Just keep your mouth shut. Nico's just a scapegoat at this point. Just shut your mouth. Just shut your mouth.
Remember what you said months ago, Isaac. In Nico, we trust.
Yeah, and then we got an idiot owner.
Energy stays the same, Isaac.
Yeah, and then we got an idiot owner who won't shut up. And yeah, I'm not going to get into that. But shut up, Patrick Dumont. You do not need to hold any more press conferences unless you're actually going to let journalists in and record and ask questions. And yes, defense wins championship, Nico. Can you say something else?
Man, Isaac is still tickled.
I'm not even tickled. It's just let the trade die. Leave Luka alone. Leave everyone alone. Like you're beating a dead horse at this point. Wow, that was a bad pun. Just let the horse die. That was an unintended pun.
That was actually a really good one. That actually fits well.
By the way, tone deaf comments that you didn't know how much Luka was. You didn't know how much Luka left.
You're full of shit.
You might as well say, shit. "Oh, I'm gonna trade away Dirk." I didn't know you guys liked him.
You're full of shit.
He has a freaking statue.
You're full of shit.
The fact that Dirk is also distancing himself from the Mavericks says just a lot, but it's unfortunate. Patrick Dumont, just shut up. I don't know at this point.
Isaac's PSA rant. Anyway, gentlemen, do we got anything else we want to talk about?
No, I got all what I needed to say out.
All right.
All I'm saying is Lakers in 7.
All right. If that's how you feel, Isaac, you got any more thoughts?
I would love to play this clip back once the series is over.
Lakers in 7.
Lakers in 7. Anyway, ladies and gentlemen, we do appreciate you listening to us. Please subscribe to us on YouTube, TikTok, Spotify, wherever you may listen to us for your podcast. Please listen, subscribe, show us the love. Dummies on the Hardwood. With that being said, we will catch y'all next week and have a great night, ladies and gentlemen.
Lakers in 7.
No.